It started like an ordinary day on set, until the cameras caught something that now feels like pure reality TV legend. The tension in the studio was electric, as if every spotlight already sensed what was about to explode. Bambi walked in carrying a storm of emotions. Gone was the usual glamorous sparkle. Instead, she carried years of heartbreak and silent struggle on her shoulders. Her voice trembled as she opened up about sleepless nights, the crushing pressure of single motherhood, and the brutal weight of rebuilding herself after betrayal. For a moment, the whole cast froze. Viewers at home leaned closer to their screens, hearts heavy, because it felt like one of those rare, unguarded confessions that changed the entire story of a show. But then, like a cruel glitch in what could have been a healing moment, something unthinkable happened. Just a few feet away, Rasheeda and Kirk exchanged sharp side glances and stifled giggles. At first, it was almost invisible, a quick smirk, a whisper that the microphones were never meant to catch. But technology has no mercy. Every laugh, every muttered word leaked into the audio. Fans replayed the footage in disbelief. Was this really happening while Bambi poured out her pain? Social media ignited within minutes. Heartless, one viewer posted. "This is beyond messy, it is cruel," wrote another. Hashtags like #Bambi deserved better and #Rasheeda exposed trended before the episode even ended. The cameras caught the exact second Bambi realized what was going on. Her eyes hardened like glass. Her breathing shifted. You could almost feel the temperature drop. In that instant, grief turned into fire. Without warning, she pushed her chair back and stormed across the set, every step echoing louder than the producer's frantic shouts. No one saw this coming, a crew member later told an insider blog. Rasheeda barely had time to stand before Bambi confronted her, fury radiating like a thunderclap. Security rushed in, cast members screamed, and the entire set spun into chaos. It was not just a fight, it was years of buried tension detonating at once. Remember, these two have a complicated history. On camera, they have shared polite smiles, but insiders have whispered for years about an unspoken rivalry. Bambi has long felt that Rasheeda never respected her, always seeing her as an outsider who could never truly belong. That night, the mask ripped off. The whispers became shouts, the polite distance turned into a full-scale eruption. Viewers watched in shock as Rasheeda's dismissive chuckle finally collided with Bambi's breaking point. Meanwhile, the internet was already rewriting the night into reality TV mythology. Fan accounts compared the clash to the most infamous love and hip-hop meltdowns of all time. Comment sections overflowed with theories. "This is bigger than a fight," someone tweeted. "It is a betrayal years in the making." Even celebrities joined the conversation, some siding with Bambi for defending her dignity, others accusing her of going too far. The debate burned hotter with every replayed clip, every slow-motion breakdown of Rasheeda's smirk. And now the question lingers like smoke after a fire: who truly crossed the line? Was Rasheeda cruel and calculating, mocking a woman at her most vulnerable? Or did Bambi, pushed beyond reason, let fury destroy any chance at peace? One thing is certain, this was not just another love and hip-hop argument. It was a shocking spectacle where real pain and reality TV blurred until no one could tell the difference. What happened next will be remembered as one of the most jaw-dropping moments in love and hip-hop history. Rasheeda's calm exterior cracked for a split second, revealing an attitude that many fans now call chilling. For years she had brushed off Bambi's struggles as self-inflicted drama, the kind of "that is life" shrug that can cut deeper than any insult. But to laugh, right there, on camera, while Bambi poured out her heartbreak, that was the spark that ignited an inferno. Bambi's chair screeched against the floor as she sprang up, every ounce of bottled-up pain surging to the surface. "You think my life is a joke? You think my pain is funny?" Her voice sliced through the air like a siren. In seconds, the studio went from tense silence to utter chaos. Cast members screamed. Producers shouted into headsets. Security moved in fast, but they were already too late. Bambi lunged straight at Rasheeda, eyes blazing, fury written across every movement. Rasheeda barely had time to blink. And then Kirk made the moment even darker. Instead of calming the fire, he poured gasoline on it with a single line that now echoes across the internet: "Do not play the victim now." Those 5 words changed everything. Fans later said it felt like watching a wound get ripped open on live television. Social media detonated. Memes, reaction videos, and furious comment threads appeared in minutes. Some viewers defended Bambi with passionate posts like, "Nobody deserves to be laughed at while sharing their trauma." Others insisted she crossed a dangerous line by turning to physical confrontation. The debate became so intense that hashtags like #Bambi vs Rasheeda, #TeamBambi, and #RasheedaGate trended for days. But what outsiders did not know was how deep this wound truly went. Insiders revealed that Bambi had confided to friends long before that laughter, especially mocking laughter, was her ultimate trigger. Growing up, she had fought to be taken seriously, battling whispers that she was too flashy to be real. Every dismissive giggle she heard on set that night carried the weight of every bully, every cold remark, every time someone told her she would never measure up. When Rasheeda and Kirk laughed, it was as if the entire history of that pain came roaring back. And then came the shocking twist that turned a fight into a full-blown scandal. When producers replayed the raw footage, the microphones revealed something more than just laughter. Kirk's voice could be heard muttering a chilling aside, "Scrappy was right. She milks everything." That single sentence changed the story overnight. It was no longer just a reaction in the heat of the moment. It was evidence of a deeper, ongoing betrayal. Fans immediately connected the dots to Bambi's ex, Lil Scrappy, speculating that Kirk and Rasheeda had been discussing Bambi's private conversations for weeks, maybe even months. The internet could not let it go. Twitter threads broke down every frame. Instagram lives dissected every whisper. So they were plotting behind her back this whole time, one influencer asked during a late-night live stream that drew thousands. Another fan wrote, "This is not just shade. This is character assassination." Suddenly, Rasheeda's soft laugh looked like the tip of an iceberg, one made of rumors and long-planned digs. Bambi's fury only grew as security held her back. Rasheeda tried to play peacemaker, but instead of apologizing, she doubled down with a line that will forever live in reality TV infamy, "Girl, you have been through stuff." The words might sound harmless on paper, but in the moment, they dripped with condescension, as if Bambi's deepest wounds were nothing more than a tired storyline. For Bambi, it was confirmation of every fear she had voiced in private, that her pain would never be taken seriously, that her very identity and resilience were up for mockery. This was no longer about a single fight. It was the eruption of years of jealousy, quiet shade, and unspoken competition. Rasheeda had long styled herself as the unshakable boss who turned struggle into empire. Bambi, younger and flashier, had always sensed she was treated as an outsider, someone whose achievements were never fully respected. That night, all of it came crashing down in front of millions. Now the stage is set for an all-out war that even the producers might not be able to contain. What began as whispers and laughter has become a defining betrayal that fans, and maybe the cast itself, will never forget. What followed was reality television turned into a pressure cooker about to explode. Rasheeda's calm but cutting reply, "We all have. Stop acting like you are the only one with problems," hit like a sledgehammer. It was not just a sentence. It was a public dismissal of Bambi's pain, and it felt like gasoline on an already raging fire. Bambi's scream answered back like a thunderclap, "You do not know anything about my life. You sit there with your perfect little boutique and your fake little smile, but you do not know what I go through every single day." The words cracked through the set like lightning. Security tried to tighten their grip, but Bambi broke free, tears streaking her face while fury electrified every word. Then came a twist nobody saw coming. Carly Red, who until then had stayed silent on the sidelines, suddenly leapt into the line of fire. "She is right, Rasheeda. You all do act like you are better than everybody else. You sit there and laugh, but you are not perfect either. We all know that." Her voice sliced across the room, and the air changed instantly. Carly was known for stirring chaos, but siding with Bambi against her longtime friend Rasheeda was an earthquake. In that instant, alliances cracked like glass. What began as Bambi versus Rasheeda erupted into a cast-wide confrontation. Fans watching livestream leaks and instant uploads could not believe the shifting loyalties. Some accused Carly of using Bambi's pain to get under Rasheeda's skin. Others believed Carly was finally saying the truth everyone else was too scared to speak, that Rasheeda and Kirk had crowned themselves untouchable while quietly hiding their own scandals. Comment sections burned with takes like, "Carly just blew the whole season wide open," and "This is no longer a fight, it is an expose." But the biggest shock had not even dropped yet. During the scramble to restore order, producers reviewed the day's raw footage. What they found took the conflict from reality drama to a dark new level. The uncut audio did not just capture laughter. It revealed Kirk mocking Bambi's financial hardships and failed relationship with Scrappy, saying, "She always crying broke but flexing on Instagram, make it make sense." Rasheeda's voice followed with a chilling laugh and the dismissive punchline, "Exactly, girl. Been struggling for years, but got time for that sob story." As that discovery leaked to blogs and fan forums, outrage went nuclear. But there was still more to come. Allegedly, screenshots from the cast's private group chat surfaced next. The messages were brutal. One showed Rasheeda dropping laughing emojis while another castmate recapped one of Bambi's most vulnerable breakdowns. Kirk chimed in with, "Bambi needs to toughen up. This is not a therapy session." The internet needed no more evidence. Within hours, hashtags like #FakeFriends, #BambiDeservedBetter, and #RasheedaExposed stormed Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. What began as an uncomfortable laugh had now mutated into a full-blown bullying scandal. Viewers who once saw Rasheeda and Kirk as the level-headed power couple began questioning their entire brand. Comments poured in, "This is not entertainment, it is cruelty," and "They built their empire while tearing others down." Fan-made edits replayed the audio over slow-motion footage of Bambi's tearful face, turning every whisper and giggle into proof of betrayal. By the time producers finally cut the cameras, the set felt like the aftermath of a storm. Friendships had been shattered, reputations ripped apart, and an entire cast divided into rival camps. What started as petty shade had transformed into a defining scandal that will haunt the show for seasons to come. One thing is undeniable, this was no scripted drama. It was raw pain and years of resentment exploding on national television, an unforgettable collision of real life and reality TV. And then came the reveal that flipped the entire narrative on its head. The leaked screenshots were not just about Bambi. They exposed messages mocking Ciara's painful divorce, cruel jokes about Carly's cosmetic surgeries, and even sly shade at Yandy's complicated marriage with Mendices. These receipts painted Rasheeda and Kirk as the couple who sat back, judged everyone, and laughed at their pain once the camera stopped. For Bambi, it was a brutal kind of vindication. She went live within hours of the leak, her face still streaked with tears but her voice sharp with fire. "You all saw it for yourselves," she told more than 40,000 live viewers. "They think my life is a punchline. They think my pain is content. But I promise you, I am not the one to play with." The comments lit up in red hearts and rallying cries. "We got you, sis," fans wrote, calling her strong, real, and fearless for standing against the frosts. Rasheeda scrambled to contain the wildfire. She posted a carefully worded Instagram story insisting the laughter was taken out of context and that she would never make light of another woman's struggle. But by then the receipts had already told their own story, and the internet was not buying it. Fan edits spliced Rasheeda's calm denial next to the raw group chat screenshots, creating viral proof of betrayal videos that spread like digital wildfire. The fallout inside the cast was just as fierce. Carly, already on record supporting Bambi, doubled down with a blistering on-camera statement, "I have been saying they act like they are better than everybody, and now the truth is out. They sit back, sip their wine, and laugh at all of our pain." Even Ciara, famous for staying neutral, stepped forward, saying she felt deeply betrayed after seeing the cruel jokes about her own divorce. In one night, the once untouchable Frosts found themselves surrounded by castmates who now questioned every past friendship and every polished smile. By the end of that week, producers teased a bombshell. The next episode, they promised, would include the uncut audio, the full group chat receipts, and the behind-the-scenes fallout. Fans were stunned. Love and hip-hop had rarely broken the fourth wall like this, but the scandal was too massive to hide. The teaser ended with a single chilling voiceover that echoed across millions of screens, "What is done in the dark always comes to the light." And when that light hit, social media turned into a battleground. Twitter exploded first. Hashtags like #Bambi vs Rasheeda, #Kirk the Clown, and #LHHATL exposed trended for hours. One viral tweet read, "Bambi stood on business. Rasheeda been fake for years. Glad somebody finally checked her." Another shot back, "Nah, Bambi has been bitter since Scrappy left. Now she is picking fights for attention." The divide was sharp, the commentary relentless. Instagram Lives became the second front of the war. Bambi went live again, thanking fans for their support and insisting she was tired of being treated like a charity case to laugh at. The view count rocketed past 40,000, the comments a flood of red hearts and raised fist emojis. Rasheeda, in contrast, stayed silent for nearly a full day. When she finally posted, it was a single, calculated image of her in the studio with a caption that many read as defiance, bothered, focused, blessed. But by that point, the damage was irreversible. What began as a dismissive laugh had ignited a scandal that may permanently redraw the power map of love and hip-hop Atlanta. Friendships lay in ruins. Reputations cracked. And a once untouchable couple now stood alone as the villains of a season that no one will forget. The cameras may stop rolling, but the internet never does. And in this world, every secret, no matter how carefully hidden, always comes to the light. But instead of cooling the fire, Rasheeda's carefully staged post poured gasoline on it. Fans accused her of dodging accountability and hiding behind her brand image. And when love and hip-hop drama reaches this magnitude, it does not stay contained. The entire hip-hop and reality TV ecosystem lit up. Carly read, "Never one to miss a moment," posted a cryptic Instagram story that read, "Told you all, the truth always comes out. Some folks been laughing at all of us." Ciara quietly liked that story, essentially confirming that the receipts were real. Even Spice, who had tried to stay neutral, stepped in with a pointed comment under a Shade Room repost, "They played too much with people's pain. Bambi did not deserve that." Then came the most jaw-dropping reaction of all. Out of nowhere, Lil Scrappy, Bambi's ex, broke his silence on Twitter. "You all do not even know the half. Bambi been holding it down while they clown her. Respect my baby mama." The tweet detonated like a bomb. Scrappy rarely defends Bambi publicly anymore, so fans immediately speculated that even he knew Rasheeda and Kirk had crossed a line. Others claimed it was just a play for attention, but regardless, his words added a brand new layer of mess to an already volatile situation. And the backlash did not stop with the cast. Producers at VH1 were dragged into the storm as fans accused them of orchestrating the chaos. One insider account claimed the production team had been sitting on the leaked footage for weeks, waiting to drop it at the perfect moment for ratings. The accusation was brutal. The network was not merely documenting drama, it was manufacturing it. The outrage grew so loud that VH1's official Twitter had to issue a vague statement: "We stand by our cast members and their stories." Next week's episode will provide more context. But to viewers, it sounded like corporate spin. Few believed it. The controversy spilled far beyond the show's fan base. Tamar Braxton, who has weathered her own love and hip-hop controversies, tweeted, "Laughing at people's pain is never okay. I do not care who you are." Cardi B joined the chorus during an Instagram rant, warning Bambi not to let anyone use her pain as a storyline without flipping it into her own success. "Turn that pain into a bag," Cardi urged, striking a chord with millions. By midweek, the fight was a full-on cultural event. Major blogs from Hollywood Unlocked to The Shade Room and even mainstream outlets like BET pushed clips non-stop. TikTok flooded with memes. One viral edit played sad violins over slow-motion footage of Rasheeda and Kirk laughing while Bambi cried. The comments were merciless: "Rasheeda been giving mean girl energy for years." Then fans themselves escalated the drama into real-world action. A petition appeared on change.org titled "Hold Rasheeda Accountable," demanding that VH1 remove her as the franchise's so-called moral compass. Within 48 hours, it had gathered over 10,000 signatures. Another petition, created in defense of Bambi, demanded stronger protections for vulnerable storylines to prevent bullying. Overnight, what began as an on-set argument transformed into a larger cultural debate about empathy, authenticity, and exploitation in reality television. The shockwaves reached Rasheeda's empire. Customers bombarded her pressed boutique Instagram with clown emojis. Negative Yelp reviews popped up with lines like, "Do not laugh at customers the way you laugh at your castmates." Insiders whispered that some sponsors had already paused collaborations, worried about being tied to what fans were calling toxic branding. Whether temporary or not, the scandal was already hitting her bottom line. Meanwhile, Bambi seized the moment. She teased a tell-all YouTube series, promising to reveal everything they do not want you to know. Fans rallied behind her, encouraging her to turn pain into power and finally step out of the frost shadow. For the first time in years, Bambi held the sympathy and the spotlight of the majority of viewers. She was no longer just a cast member.